Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the live stream. It's your boy Tokyo Stoner. We're doing another Final Fantasy VII Remake boss guide. Today we're covering the Fat Chocobo. Almost feel bad fucking this guy up, but yeah, we gotta do it. So, anyway, let's roll. So, first things first, Fat Chocobo has no element, right? So you can't exploit elemental weakness. So I'm really just going for physical damage. So I give Cloud the hard edge because that's got his highest damage stat, like physical damage. His magic stat is weak, so you know, don't expect to use magic using the hard edge, but you will get massive damage. Give him the best armor that you have. Like right now I'm endgame, so I've got chain bangle. But when you unlock Fat Chocobo, you've probably got some decent 2-slot armor pieces, maybe even a 3-slot. So check your armor, look for good stats, look for good slots, and sort that out. Revival earrings are pretty good. Again, against Fat Chocobo, he's not as threatening as some of the other boss fights. So you could swap a revival earring out for maybe a power wrist guard or a champion belt. Yeah. Or if you're later in the game, a transference module to make you build up the limit gauge quicker. Just to give you more physical damage, because basically physical damage is going to wreck Fat Chocobo if you apply it the right way and you just keep pressuring him. I stun locked him with Tifa last night on hard mode. I just stun locked him just by doing the basic attack combo, buffing and using her ability to deal damage, the purple pain one. So yeah, into this Materia setup. I gave him lightning elemental. Fat Chocobo's not particularly weak to any kind of magic, but it's just going to add extra damage to every basic attack, and I'm going to be smashing basic attacks the whole fight. So lightning elemental, can't go wrong. First strike, you don't really need it. You could probably swap that out for something more useful, but I've got it in there regardless. Steadfast block, you do want that still for this fight. I mean, like I said, he's not as threatening as the others, but he is still a boss and a summon, so he's like a god in the game, so you should respect him. Use the steadfast block. If you don't know how that works, when you're blocking and taking damage while blocking, you take less damage and your ATB gauge fills up. That's why it's useful. Revival Materia, you do want it just in case something goes left. You may not need to use it, but it's good to have it in the clutch. Barrier, yeah, I'd say you may not have enough slots. So if you don't have enough slots, I would say give barrier to your support. But yeah, if you don't have enough slots, I mean, if you do have enough, nothing wrong with having a barrier on you. ATB stagger is probably more useful on your damage dealer in this than barrier. I think revive is going to be super clutch. You want barrier on your support, and maybe you could drop it on one of your damage dealers. You definitely want at least two revives and maybe 2 barriers. But yeah, not necessarily one on him. ATB staggers clutch. You want that because when Fat Chocobo staggered, you just want to be able to deal crazy damage. Make sure you got that to make the fight quicker. Chakra Materia is a must. The reason it's a must is because you're going to be doing so much damage just from spamming square that you're not necessarily going to need to use abilities all the time, and you're going to get so much ATB from spamming your basic attacks that you should be able to also spam chakra. So healing shouldn't really be a problem once you've got chakra in this. You should just be wrecking it. If your health goes below halfway, throw a chakra. Everything's nice. Barret, again, barrier magnify just to protect the party. My support always has barrier magnify set up. That's always the way it is. Healing for the clutch. Prayer, if you got less slots than this, I'd recommend prayer over healing 100%. Fire magic is not necessary. That's left over there from another guide. But like I said, this boss is not super threatening. You just need to be applying mad physical damage all the time. So we got ATB stagger, steadfast block. That's lit. So that's a mad combination. When he's staggered, we get the boost. When he's damaging us, we get the boost. So between prayer, steadfast block, and stagger, with the barrier magnify, that's about all you need on Barret. You get me? Maybe a time. You might not have access to time by that point in the game, but if you do, bang. Revive is clutch. You get access to it very early in the game, and it's clutch. And yeah, that covers Barret. Again, if you got summons at that point, use the summons that you have. I like Shiva and Ifrit. You might have the DLC summons. I'm not sure what they're like, but yeah, I like Shiva and Ifrit. I think they're cool. Endgame, Leviathan, and Bahamut. So yeah. And again, Tifa's going to have a fire elemental. Not because he's weak to fire, just because it's going to give me more damage on my basic attacks. And the main way I'm going to wreck this boss is basic attacks and abilities. So yeah, more damage the better. Barrier's there in the clutch. If you got less slots, you probably don't need it if you got it on your support already. Revive you will need, because if your support dies, you're going to need to be able to bring him back easily. Prayer Materia. If you got a chakra on her and someone else has a heal and someone else has a prayer, you don't need 2 prayers for this fight. But, you know, if you got the space, take it. What you do want is an ATB stagger and a HP up on Tifa, right? You definitely want those. You could give her a steadfast block if you got one or you got the space, but either way, ATB stagger, HP up, super clutch. Chakra, like I said, super clutch. And first strike Materia is not really necessary for this fight, to be honest, because you're going to build up ATB quickly by attacking the enemy. Probably barrier. And another important thing to note, when you're using barrier, you don't need to cast mana wall or mana ward from my experience. You just need to cast basic barrier, which is pretty cheap on MP. So I just barrier up, swatch to Tifa, and I'm just mashing abilities. Swap to Cloud, mashing. Swap to Tifa, mashing. Back and forth. And then Barrett's just going to keep the barrier up and keep the haste up. Yeah? So, battle settings, quick. Depending on where you are in the game, you may not have access to all these abilities, but I'll be doing Focus Thrust to raise stagger damage with Cloud and Braver to deal damage with Cloud, right? If you're doing this later on in the game and you have access to Infinity's End, use that shit to deal damage because it's OP. But make sure while you're building stagger, you're spamming Focus Thrust. I've got the level 2 limit break, yeah? So, bang, we're rolling. Now, Barrett. I'd be hitting it with Focus Thrust. Focus Shot, sorry. Focus Shot deals mad stagger damage. All of the main characters, like Tifa as well, she's got a focus one, but I don't use it that much. But again, with Barrett, Focus Shot's really good. Hit it with Focus Shot to build its stagger meter. You might not have access to Maximum Fury, so if you don't, just keep using Focus Shot for damage. Do you hear me? Because Focus Shot does deal normal damage as well. So just keep using this. It's a great ability. It uses 2 ATBs, but it can also use 1. So make sure, try and use it when you have 1 so that you don't end up burning 2 on it. I think you might get extra damage if you use 2, but sometimes it's better to, if you got a full gauge, use 1 gauge to do like a spell or a buff or something, and then use the other one to do the shot. So don't let this ability burn both of your things. Steel Skin and Lifesaver, if you got spare ATB, you can use them to get, you know, defense buff and to protect your party. But if you're struggling for ATB, I recommend just attacking him and bringing the stagger down and using barrier to do that instead. And like I said, if you got the level 2, Catastrophe, bang. Tifa. Star Shower is sick. Star Shower is insane. I recommend it against this boss because he's big, so it's very easy to land, very easy to connect, and it has multiple big damage hits. So I'd be using Unbridled Strength to get buffed up, and then I'd be hitting it with Star Shower to get the extra damage. That's just what I do. I reckon that would destroy this thing. Overpower, I wouldn't really use, and Dive Kick I doubt I'd use unless I didn't have access to Star Shower yet. Dolphin Flurry, level 2 limit break, you're good to go. Yeah, that about covers the whole thing. And like I said, oh wait, one more thing. I think I covered it already, but look, they've all got revival earrings. Make sure you're rolling with that, right? To bring you a resurrect just in case. If you're not rolling with that, you could get something like a champion belt or something like that, just to give you extra damage boost. And yeah, I think that concludes the video. So yeah, I'm Tokyo Stoner. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, comment, all of that gangster shit. If you're watching on YouTube, I got a Twitch channel, Tokyo Stoner. If you're watching on Twitch, I got a YouTube channel, Tokyo Stoner. Also, I got a music channel on YouTube called Light Codes Music. Check that shit out. Take care of yourselves. You know, it's crazy shit going on outside right now. And I hope you found this video useful. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Nothing but money on my mind. She says she love me, love is blind. She ride it up and down and then rewind. When we fuck, it gets better every time. I got 2 bad bitches by my side. I tell my ops don't even try. Anytime I lift, I let it fly. Come down and put 2 spirits in the sky. Hit your block and put some spirits on the floor. Niggas know I got a lot, but I need more. Nowadays, all my guap is kept offshore. Stash box, I got a couple keys of raw. Whoa, the weed is Arabian, burning it down like a Sabian. I'm coming down to the stadium, rolling with angels and aliens. There's only real ones in my radius. Everyone here know my alias.
I'm coming down to the stadiums, rolling with angels and aliens. She take it straight to the face, laughing all of the way to the bank. Pardon, I take it straight to the face, pull up and parking. Jump out the spaceship, step over your carcass. When you look around, you see killers and carnage. My niggas is Martians, yeah, we live and die by the stardom. Even when we're in the darkness, you know we stay lit regardless. All of your bitches, they love me, all of your hatred is harmless. Only the gods can judge me, yeah. Even when we're in the darkness, you know we stay lit regardless. All of your bitches, they love me, all of your hating is harmless.